this claim that contraception also comes with, that it empowers women. Do you think it empowers women or it shackles them?
What do you
What do you think?
Let Anna speak.
A woman can answer that.
Yeah, I think when you do immoral things like use anything or withdrawal and all, I think I was not feeling not feeling free. I was all the time thinking that today Valley's going to ask me. I was feeling like used. What should I say to him? I'm not feeling loving. Or he's been so rude to me today. I don't even want to see his face. Yeah, and then I know he'll come to bed and he'll say something to me and whatever. Yeah, but then I don't know how to say no. Yeah, so today what excuse will I find? Yesterday I said headache. Today what else? Yeah, children are worrying. Something like that I have to say. I have to prepare some answers like that. And later on, when we learned NFP, we found that true love casts off all fear.
Yeah.
I used to get the fear of pregnancy also because I didn't know NFP properly at all. So I was afraid of pregnancy. So that time we were not even making love. I was making love in fear. Yeah, so that is not called love at all. Yeah, so, but when I learned NFP, I felt more respected. I knew Valley could control himself. And I also saw Valley as a man, so it helped to build our communication. I was able to talk on what I didn't like because now Valley and I were on the same page. Like he wouldn't argue with me and say, no, in this book it says this. Now we had a book and both of us were reading and both of us could see that these were not right. Yeah. And it was difficult to practice NFP. Yeah, because for 13 years of our marriage, we didn't even think about cycle or whatever. Yeah, but then we persevered because we knew that was the best thing for our family. We realized we were living in sin. And if you're living in sin, it's very hard to get any graces. You might just be getting the crumbs which fall from the table like that. Yeah, so then for our family to grow in holiness, I think that was the best decision we took. Yeah, but I know about many women also who feel like they can't say no because they have they've been sterilized, operation they call it, yeah. So now they can't, even if they don't.
Tubes are tied.
Tubes, yeah. That is, yeah. So tubal ligation
You
is
want
the
to
correct
say
name.
if you can't say no, then your yes has no.
Yeah. So you can't say no once you have all these kind of things or you're taking the pill every day.
Yeah.
Even if you don't feel like.
How many days would you say my head is spinning?
Yeah. And because
How many dishes
we
they
are
would wash?
feeling like I would be feeling like I'm being used, like I'm like a paper doll, I used to say.
Something that Valley was talking about, being having the
correct.
utilitarian mentality, right?
So everything was in his head.
Yeah.
I have to do whatever he tells me. If he tells me turn, I have to turn.
Yeah.
I don't know what he wants to do.
Yeah.
So it was like that. And then when we learned NFP, we thought it's such a holy act and you can't do all these kind of things. Yeah, so it's changed our perspective completely.
So it doesn't empower women. What does it do? Makes them slaves.
Yeah, I felt free.
Sexual slaves.
I felt free. I could talk to women also about this now. Yeah, and I could tell them, if you have tied your tubes, you can still learn NFP and, ask pardon from God and use the days like as if you were okay. Yeah, just behave like you were not sterilized and learn NFP and use that and make a sacrifice. Yeah, even though you're free to make love on any day because you're sterilized. Yeah, but you need to make this and tell other people also not to do. So this is your penance. Yeah, but there is nobody who tells us all these kind of things.
That's true.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say that like they have a financial strain.
Yes.
And contraception is the only way that they can be eased of that strain because they don't want to get more people to mouths to feed, right? So what do you say to people like that? Like how do you talk about compared to NFP, like when people say that contraception is the easiest way for me to not put a financial strain on my family. What do you say to couples like that? Because like for example, someone who's staying in a small house, for example, there is not enough place for them. They probably want to have kids, but they don't have the money, they don't have the facility, and contraception seems like the easiest thing. So what would your answer be to those?
Yeah, first of all, they don't have enough knowledge about NFP. Yeah, So when they say
I
that
don't think they even know about NFP.
they don't know,
right?
they don't even know about NFP.
Yeah. So the only, as you said in the beginning,
Yeah.
the government doesn't promote NFP
Doesn't
because it's free. I'm guessing because of that.
I know.
There's no money.
I guess if the
Yeah.
aid is coming from USAID, then you got to use that money, right?
Yeah.
So NFP is like free. Yeah, you're right.
So I think because it's not been marketed in the way contraception has been marketed, this seems like the most, like they say, no, I mean it's not very expensive to buy a condom, for example. It's like whatever, like a few rupees to buy a condom, and it's inexpensive. But when you look at whether it's effective or no.
I think it's not even so much effective. It's about today's instant gratification.
Yeah, you want everything.
You
like
want
instant,
everything.
yeah.
So you use a condom, but if you
Use a
want to
pill and,
use
you know,
NFP, what do you have to do? We have 3 classes to teach NFP.
Yeah.
Spread over 3 months. That means 2 months.
Yeah.
So it takes time and trouble. It takes also discipline to use NFP. You need discipline. You need self-control. Now, if people don't want to do that, like instant gratification, I don't. Then, especially I think as the families are becoming smaller and smaller, children are not learning to share. They're learning, they're getting whatever they want when they start demanding or throw a tantrum. So they never really learn to wait or learn to control themselves. And I think so that's why NFP doesn't appeal to people.
Right, because it's not instant.
It comes at a
doesn't
cost,
seem very.
right? Yeah.
It doesn't seem like an instant solution to a problem.
Yeah.